Yeah, these horses that we used to have in France, they're the work horses. So I've got 3 of them at the back of the farm, the National Trust farm. And because after tonight, I'll stay at Groundswell tonight and then pick the kids up and go to Groundswell to Glastonbury tomorrow. So basically I'm away for 5 nights. So I was moving on to a new field, and they weigh a ton each, and they're pretty strong. And one of them was getting quite feisty. I was hanging on, and when it basically sort of pulled my arm off, not literally, but it's so painful. So I was trying to get my shit together, taking Nurofen and making no difference. And so it's been a bit of a sleepless night. And as a result, I was packing everything left-handed this morning, so I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, so there's a bit of a traffic jam, but we've parked up. We're just walking in now. Is that Mr. Neal? I can see you there.
Hello, how are you doing?
Mate, all right?
Geez, you get tall every day, don't you?
Good to see you.
You're speaking with Henry?
Yeah, I'm talking about food systems. I'm delivering a pizza to Prince William, I've just found out.
What, he's here?
I've got to get my Deliveroo outfit on.
You're joking or not?
No, well, I wish I was, but I don't think I am.
Hello, Andy.
Hello, mate, how you doing?
Welcome to
You all right?
Groundswell.
You're looking quite relaxed. Well done.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, mate, you all right?
Yeah, really good.
I've just got to do a little interviewy thing. It's going to get hot in there. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Oh, look at the bees.
I know, I was just saying, so the bees knew it was a hive and they've all just turned up.
Wow.
Movie.
See you in a sec. I can weather it.
I think you can go inside.
Hello, my love. How you doing?
Are you being dragged every which way?
A little bit.
You're going to be pulled absolutely everywhere today, aren't you?
It's looking a bit that way.
Followed you in. We're about 2 cars behind.
How you doing? You all right?
Mind the way. Are you doing it here?
I'll do it.
We'll move out the way.
Should we just...
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to get some water. Fine. It's the 5:30 is the one.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to keep the ridiculous hat on. Well, hi, this is Andy Cato, and we're at a very sunny Groundswell. Hello, mate, you all right? This is a proper Stetson friend.
Hi, Andy. It's Lottie Weston. We were going to be on a panel together in F&A next.
Yes, which
Yeah. And
50 Nation.
Oh, there you go. Oh, thank you, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
See you guys.
Hey.
How you doing?
Since France.
Andy, have you learned this one?
It's a new one, Wildfarmed.
That's what all the kids are doing.
Long story, very short. Has it worked?
You can't really kind of go anywhere without trying to get to the loo is complicated. So I'm a farmer, a tenant of the National Trust. Prior to that, I filmed in France for many years. 4 years ago now, we set up Wildfarmed, and Wildfarmed is a community of now around 110 farmers, and we're trying to create a field-to-plate supply chain to build a real collaboration for change between farmers and the high street for nutrient-dense food from nature-rich landscapes. Is this backstage around here, is it?
Yeah, backstage this is it.
I like the backstage area, this is good.
How is everything for the weekend then?
I haven't given it a thought. No. I was playing excerpts of potential Glastonbury tunes in the car trying to work it all out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether to save it for tonight, save it for tomorrow, save it for Friday, save it for Saturday, or save it for Sunday.
Was this always the plan to be a farmer/DJ?
There's never been a plan. Yeah, there's never been a plan. When I was farming in France and I was, in the first instance, getting everything wrong, the music allowed me to fund all that. Coming into farming from the outside, you just ask why about everything. Why is it that there's no way of getting this grain grown this way to customers? It's just going to go in these big bins with everything else, and why isn't it worth any more than things that are growing in a very different way, and all these things. And I suppose it was a combination of coming in from outside, asking a lot of questions, and having this opportunity to go away at the weekends and, keep the family afloat and give myself the time to experiment with things, and also wanting to do that. A lot of people would think us being a bit mad, but that's quite an unusual combination of circumstances, I guess.
2 old geezers now.
2 old geezers.
Rocking it out at Glastonbury, creep, grown. You get one of your engineers to build you one, but this is perfect, because you can just fucking lean on that.
So easy, mate.
That's got amnesia at 4 o'clock in the morning written all over it. You see what's my next thing? Here he is. Deliveroo outfits on.
No swearing.
Hi. Pizzas, everybody?
I've seen you on Pratson's farm.
Yeah.
Is there any farming blood in your family? Is it complete?
No, complete new territory. Yeah. So,
It's funny how you went from music to that.
Andy, have you got 2 seconds?
hello, mate.
How are you?
You all right?
Can you say hello to my farmer time school? Oh, Miss Wilkinson, can you hear us? Something about strawberries?
It was lovely to speak to you, and next time you grow some wheat, put some beans with it. See you in a bit. Cheers, mate. It's all going on, isn't it?
It's all going on.
So it turns out that William is a big superstyling fan. Partly farming chap, but mainly dance music chap.
You all right with HRH?
Yeah. See, and I went back in to get my hat and he'd eat it all to the very crust, so obviously it went down really well.
Good.
But I'm slightly losing my window to eat anything now. Field walks. Here he is.
How you getting on?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Not so bad, you?
Are you warm enough in your dungarees?
I heard that there was a milk company turned up this morning and all their fucking crates are gone.
Oh, really? Here they are. Yeah, how you doing? It's all right. We've been doing like much bigger musical gigs, a few years ago, but this is far more nerve-wracking than any musical gigs of the summer.
Why?
It's good. I suppose there's always a degree where you're coming into something from the outside where you've got a bit of sort of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Not the place to do it. Hello.
Yeah. Okay, mate.
Go dazzle them all.
Got to try and stay standing. It's so anyway. It's a good time to meet you.
I will stand and cheer and clap.
Yeah. Can I count on
I
that?
might heckle you a bit as well and ask you some awkward questions.
Oh God, not today. It's too hot for all that. Right, I'm going to consult my notes. We've got about 15 minutes, have we?
You're not giving a speech, are you?
No, I'm just got a full queue trying to remember some numbers.
I'm not going to ask you any numbers questions.
Yeah, but they will. I was trying to get my head together in the tent, but the tent's 45 degrees, so that didn't work. But yeah, I got a bit of time under a tree. I'll be feeling better in an hour, or an hour and a quarter. It's really good. Well, a dead tree. So, roadblock, mate. You've still got it. The old boys have still got it.
We're just walking on.
Are we?
Yeah.
Dramatically and with confidence.
Exactly.
Do a good one?
Well, I'm going to try. Oh, how you doing? We were about to go on stage once for our biggest gig in Australia at that point. It's a big gig, it's about 80,000 people. The promoter, this horrible bloke, as we walked on to the intro music, he said, don't fuck it up.
I find that's the best mindset to enter this kind of thing in.
Definitely, yeah.
Fuck up now and it's all over. We've got 2 minutes. And then we're also standing up. So while I'm talking,
For the whole thing?
no chairs.
Fuck.
So while I'm talking, you're going to have to stand there looking like a lemon and vice versa.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Oh. I used to get some pretty serious stick. And there was a memorable example of that here. You know, we're doing a good thing and we're doing our version of trying to make things better. And so you can tell yourself that, and you can tell yourself that you're not going to let this stuff get under your skin, but it does. You know, I'm quite thin-skinned. Jesus fucking Christ.
My name is Henry Dimbleby. This is Andy.
Aye.
He was complaining about the size of the crowd. It used to be bigger.
Shut up.
I just want to ask a couple of quick questions. You've got white
bread, you bastard.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happens to the brand, is the honest answer. But I think there's a potentially more important point in that, which is that what we're trying to do is meet the world as it is. So when we did a survey of how many people eat sourdough, it was 76% of people don't. So do we then engage with 24%, or do we meet the world as it is and try and bring the message, the basic message, to a society which is completely divorced from its food supply, of you can go into the supermarket and you can buy food from farmers who are doing this, and you can join this collaboration for change. And we choose progress over perfection. Now, you know as well as I do that we're desperate to make these more complex, wholemeal, diverse products, and we've got all kinds of things in progress to try and make that happen. But let's not underestimate, from building a farming community, open days, webinars, agronomy support, persuading plant bakeries that are on wafer-thin margins, doing super high volumes, to abandon the Chorleywood process and do an overnight fermentation, to persuade packaging companies to do what is a totally inconsequential run of bags, to find a supermarket as supportive as Waitrose to put this on the shelf, the first change in the bread aisle for 125 years. It is so complicated to do what we've done, and such a tribute to our team who've pulled that off. So I think progress over perfection is when we were trying to get things started, you know, I suppose it's always the case with sort of movements for new things, is that actually a lot of the initial kind of tensions tend to come from within people who basically want the same thing, which is never something I've really understood. And I suppose, you know, you're getting somewhere when you start getting flack from the people who you're trying to change, rather than the people who are basically wanting a version of what you want.
Andy, what's your view on organic?
You've started something great with wheat.
DRO.
Okay.
He's in the Cute Gates book signed by Henry.
Oh, great, good for him.
Yeah.
Good lad. How old is he, 13?
13, yeah.
Hey,
Have you got any, how good, have you got any beer, by any chance?
Yeah, we do. We've got a gluten-free lager.
That sounds good, as long as it's cold.
Yeah, of course.
That would be absolutely fantastic. We're looking forward to this all day.
You haven't just been playing, have you? You've been talking.
I've been talking. How the easy bit is later on, yeah. Are you going to be shutting up shop later for a few beers?
Yeah, after 11. That's when we stop serving. So.
Right, okay, I'll save all the good tunes for after 11 then.
Yeah. Hey, cheers.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
How do you feel?
Relieved.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Martha. I'm the artist in residence. I made the medals.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you.
I really wanted
It's
to meet
so
you.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, I would have kicked myself if I didn't say hi.
No, it's a real pleasure. The actual time that I opened the package and just dissolved into tears.
That email made me meant so much to me. Honestly, it was.
Well, ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. Really, it's hugely inspiring. So thank you. I don't know how you can tire of that feeling of being at the centre of a moment of togetherness. I mean, if you could bottle that feeling, you know, you'd sell a lot of bottles. And so I've never tired of that. I really, really cherish it. It's such a release, sort of transcendental release from how difficult the food and farming work is. When we started getting going with Wildfarmed, felt perhaps that if you're still turning up on stages, musical stages, people might take me less seriously from a farming perspective. But actually, I realise that that's all nonsense. The key thing we've got to do here is build a collaboration and make nature, stewardship, and how we grow our food aspirational and cool and attract, you know, the best young minds, and be the focus of society that it should be, you know. And so actually being able to go and do gigs and have this sort of parallel life is just a great way of spreading the word. There's a lot of those people there will be having a wicked time at Glastonbury. Somewhere in the back of their mind, for a lot of people, is a sense that, particularly for younger people, is that the world is not in a good place and it's not heading in the right direction, and they feel powerless to do anything about it. And so you want to say to people, we've got all of the knowledge and the technology and everything we need today to unleash an absolute transformation. In 20 years' time, we could be having farmers who are getting fair returns for not just for the quality of their food, but for the quality of the ecosystems they're growing it in. We could have fields that are still full of healthy crops despite the wild differences in rainfall, because the soil can infiltrate and percolate water. We could have the brightest young minds coming into food and farming because it's cool and because it's aspirational. We could have NHS waiting list coming down. because we're talking about food as medicine. We could have reports in the paper about species diversity going up and up every year. We could do all of those things. We've got everything that we know, everything that we need now to do those things. It's just whether we all choose to do it. Glastonbury bound.
I know, I'm going to Glastonbury today as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so much for yesterday, it was amazing.
That was a lot of fun.
It was so funny, because I'm just a silly consumer here, yeah, I'm not like a farmer or anything special.
There's nothing silly about consumers.
And it was so amazing to go into like the big top and it to be rammed and you just spit like these amazing bars.
Yeah.
And then I like went round and did a bit of filming and came back and you're in the tent and it's just like full of again, and farmers know how to party. I got all this footage of people like hanging off their rafters up there and stuff. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a fun night, wasn't
it was incredible. It was really, really inspiring here.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
well, more the same with less of an agricultural theme, perhaps.
yeah. I'll see you there.
See you there.
Thanks so much.